mayoral candidate being challenged. The saga surrounding embattled South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard.
The political turmoil in Dalton, Illinois, has reached a breaking point, with embattled Mayor Tiffany Henyard at the center of ongoing controversy. From township shutdowns to federal investigations and mounting lawsuits, her administration has become a spectacle of dysfunction. As media scrutiny intensifies, many are left wondering how the situation deteriorated so drastically. Each day brings new allegations of mismanagement, corruption, and personal misconduct, further fueling public distrust. Critics argue that Henyard's leadership has been defined by power struggles, questionable decision-making, and a failure to govern effectively. The growing instability within Dalton has left residents frustrated and disillusioned, unsure of what the future holds for their community. Federal authorities are reportedly investigating Henyard for financial mismanagement, misuse of public funds, and retaliatory actions against critics. These allegations have only deepened concerns over her ability to lead. Additionally, lawsuits against the township continue to pile up, with claims of unlawful practices, harassment, and abuse of power. These legal battles paint a troubling picture of a government in crisis, struggling to maintain credibility amidst scandal. One of Henyard's most controversial moves has been the abrupt shutdown of township services, a decision that has sparked widespread outrage. Residents feel abandoned, left to navigate the fallout of a leadership vacuum. The loss of essential services has only amplified tensions, reflecting deeper systemic issues that have plagued Dalton for years. Critics argue that rather than addressing these challenges, Henyard appears more focused on consolidating power, leaving the community to bear the consequences. Public perception of Henyard has plummeted, with many viewing her as more concerned with self-preservation than effective governance. Meanwhile, the relentless media coverage has kept every scandal in the spotlight, ensuring that her administration remains a focal point of political discourse. Despite efforts from her supporters to shift the narrative, the negative press and continuous controversies have cast a long shadow over her leadership. Beyond the legal troubles and shutdowns, accusations of intimidation, harassment, and secretive dealings continue to emerge. The growing divide between Henyard's supporters and detractors has further polarized the town, creating an atmosphere of tension and uncertainty. As political infighting escalates, the community remains caught in the middle, demanding answers and accountability. As Dalton's political crisis unfolds, one critical question lingers: how did things spiral out of control? The town's residents are left grappling with the consequences, wondering whether Dalton can recover from the damage done. With fresh developments surfacing daily, the drama surrounding Henyard's administration shows no signs of slowing down. For now, the only certainty is that Dalton remains in the grips of a leadership crisis with no clear resolution in sight.
Spokespeople today and trustees who are calling it a ploy. What's going on?
On Wednesday morning, the doors of the Thornton Township building were locked, with a sign posted announcing its sudden and unexpected closure. Residents and employees, caught off guard, were left bewildered, trying to make sense of the abrupt disruption. No explanation was given, and the length of the shutdown remained unclear. Its impact on essential services was an immediate concern, as people who relied on the township for assistance, including those applying for food programs, waited in vain for employees who never arrived. This marked the first township shutdown, igniting confusion and frustration among the community and staff. Even the township assessor, an official expected to have information, was left in the dark like everyone else. Among those affected was a man who had come to submit urgent paperwork for a food assistance program. His visible frustration upon finding the locked doors mirrored the sentiment of many others. His simple but pressing question, "What happens next?" seemed to echo through the empty halls, where no further information was provided beyond the posted notice. The building's lights were off, and no employees showed up, leaving residents scrambling for answers. At the heart of the shutdown lies a deepening political deadlock that has effectively left the township in limbo. A series of meetings meant to resolve ongoing issues failed to reach a quorum due to the repeated absences of two trustees, Carmen Carlisle and Chris Gonzalez. According to Mayor Tiffany Henyard, their absences are a deliberate attempt to block her from appointing a new trustee to fill a vacant board position, a move that would give her a tie-breaking vote. This power struggle has escalated into a full-blown governance crisis, with serious consequences. Without a quorum, the township is unable to renew its insurance, threatening the continuity of essential services and placing township employees' jobs in jeopardy. Henyard warned that without proper insurance coverage, critical programs such as senior transportation and after-school initiatives could be discontinued. These services are lifelines for vulnerable populations, including seniors and children, who rely heavily on the township's support. Furthermore, the prospect of more than 100 employees facing layoffs has heightened community anxiety. The shutdown's ripple effects are already being felt, and many fear that the longer the stalemate continues, the more devastating the consequences will be. Henyard has emphasized that the lack of quorum is not just an administrative setback but a direct threat to the township's ability to fulfill its responsibilities. The political impasse has placed essential programs, jobs, and residents' well-being at risk, making the urgency of resolving this deadlock even more apparent. As tensions mount, residents are left questioning why their needs have been pushed aside amid partisan disputes. The shutdown has exposed deeper structural problems within Thornton Township's government, raising concerns about accountability and the prioritization of public welfare. Many are now demanding to know what steps, if any, will be taken to restore stability and ensure that critical services are no longer jeopardized by political maneuvering. For now, the immediate concerns remain unanswered: how long the closure will last, which services will be affected, and whether township leadership can set aside differences to prevent further disruptions. In the meantime, essential programs remain in jeopardy, employees remain uncertain about their futures, and the township faces mounting criticism for failing to prevent the crisis. The locked doors and darkened offices of Thornton Township now stand as a stark symbol of a paralyzed government, leaving the community bracing for the unknown while demanding clarity, accountability, and swift solutions before the situation worsens.
Off behind me, the doors are locked here, and there's a sign on the building right now that says it's closed. For how long, neither residents nor...
The insurance scandal surrounding Mayor Tiffany Henyard's administration has intensified scrutiny, raising serious concerns about financial transparency and accountability in Dalton Township. Critics argue that years of unchecked spending and extravagant purchases under Henyard's leadership have only deepened the township's financial struggles, leaving residents questioning where their tax dollars have gone. Among the most notorious expenditures is a staggering $40,000 in unexplained Amazon purchases, which has become a rallying cry for those demanding financial accountability. During a recent town hall meeting, tensions reached a boiling point when a frustrated resident asked, "What else are they hiding?" a question that resonated deeply with the growing discontent within the community. The lack of clear answers has only fueled public frustration, as many fear the township's financial stability is deteriorating under Henyard's leadership. Henyard, however, has repeatedly pushed back against these allegations, asserting that her administration inherited a financial disaster and has been working tirelessly to correct years of mismanagement. She has framed herself as a reformer determined to repair the damage left behind by previous leaders, insisting that her efforts are aimed at stabilizing the township's finances. But recent findings from a limited audit of Dalton's financial records have only intensified skepticism. The audit revealed a pattern of questionable purchases and financial decisions that critics say highlight poor oversight rather than tangible progress toward fiscal recovery. While Henyard's supporters argue that the financial crisis was inevitable due to the township's pre-existing challenges, detractors counter that her administration's reckless spending and lack of transparency have only worsened the situation. The ongoing insurance issue is a prime example of this dysfunction. The township's failure to renew its insurance has become emblematic of a broader governance failure, with officials unable to meet essential administrative deadlines due to a political gridlock on the board. This crisis has heightened concerns about whether township leadership is truly capable of managing its financial obligations effectively, especially as key programs and services hang in the balance. For residents and township employees, the consequences of these financial missteps are deeply personal. Many face the looming threat of layoffs, while vital services such as senior transportation and after-school programs remain at risk of discontinuation. These programs serve some of the township's most vulnerable populations, and their potential loss underscores the real human cost of administrative failures. The uncertainty surrounding these services has only fueled residents' frustration and demands for answers. Critics have also pointed to Henyard's handling of past controversies, arguing that her leadership style is defined by deflection and blame shifting. Rather than accepting responsibility, they claim she consistently presents herself as a victim of inherited financial challenges, even as her administration's spending raises serious concerns. Many residents are left questioning the township's financial priorities. Why, they ask, have expenditures like the infamous Amazon purchases gone unaccounted for while essential services struggle to remain operational? This ongoing financial turmoil has deepened the divide between Henyard's supporters and her critics, further heightening tensions and mistrust within the community. The political deadlock has made it increasingly difficult to find solutions to the township's problems, and the lack of transparency regarding its finances has only exacerbated the situation. While Henyard's defenders argue that she is tackling systemic financial issues and working toward long-term solutions, skeptics view these arguments as mere justifications for continued mismanagement. To many, the insurance scandal is not just a budgeting issue, it is a reflection of the broader governance concerns that have plagued the township under Henyard's leadership. Public confidence in her administration continues to erode, and many residents now openly question whether she has the capability to navigate Dalton out of financial peril. With each new revelation, calls for accountability and transparency grow louder. The implications of these scandals stretch far beyond mere numbers. They reflect an administration increasingly seen as opaque and unresponsive to the needs of a community already burdened by debt and service disruptions. The unfolding narrative surrounding the insurance failure and financial audit has reinforced the perception that Dalton is caught in a cycle of fiscal mismanagement and political discord. Residents are left frustrated, uncertain about the township's future, and increasingly skeptical about Henyard's ability to lead them through the crisis. While Henyard continues to call for patience and understanding as she attempts to resolve these financial issues, her critics insist that the ongoing scandals are indicative of a deeper pattern of neglect and poor decision-making, one that cannot be ignored. These growing concerns have fueled an outcry for change and greater transparency in the township's financial management. Moving forward, Henyard will face increasing pressure to not only address the immediate crisis but also lay out a clear, credible plan for the long-term financial health of Dalton. Residents are demanding more than just promises. They want accountability, responsible governance, and a path toward financial stability. As the scandal continues to unfold, it remains to be seen whether Henyard's administration can restore trust and credibility, or if the controversies surrounding her leadership will further deepen Dalton's political and financial turmoil. With so much at stake, the next steps taken or not taken by township officials will be critical in determining the future of the community. See you in the next part. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to see other interesting videos.